Bucks are one of the best teams in the NBA. They have a superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best second options in the league like Chris Middleton, and altogether their team is very good. They even have great role players like Dante DiVincenzo, Brooke Lopez, Eric Bledsoe, and more. This is a great mix of everything, and they virtually have no flaws. But today's video, we will be talking about one flaw that might make Giannis Antetokounmpo leave the Milwaukee Bucks. With all that being said, cue the intro. So, Milwaukee Bucks defense is very good, especially in the paint, and they're mostly better than most teams in the defense, and their defense is very, very unique. Just listen to what Coach Daniel said about the Milwaukee Bucks defense.
Well, it's the same idea for the Lopez's. Here's an extreme example where Lopez isn't even guarding Langama's on top, which allows him to tag a cutter. His tag takes away a pass and resets the 3-second count. This is good execution of a game plan. Or here, Lopez gives Ibaka ample space, which lets Matthews confidently tell him they have lead, and I'm moving down about 3 with a backdoor layup. When the Lopez's are off ball, coaches also want them to be the first defender who rotates over to drives, even when they're guarding a stretch big. For instance, on this baseline drive, the traditional rotation would be from the low man Middleton, but instead Lopez helps off of Ibaka on top, while Middleton stays home, and the Bucks continue to drive. They're in position to give this extra help because they sag so much off of their men. Brooke is playing center field here off Ibaka, ready to collapse on that drop. The reason for this game plan is pretty simple. When a drive happens, they want their biggest rim protector to be the one who meets the drive at the rim. Here we see Robin help him pass away on Ricochet.
So he explained how good the Bucks paint defense is. He shows that the players go under the screen, they don't go under the screen, and the Lopez brothers go in the paint and guard the paint secure. And thanks to Coach Daniel, he explained everything about the Milwaukee Bucks defense. Anyways, let's go back to the topic. So since their paint defense is so good and they rely on the paint defense, there are other teams like the Houston Rockets who shoot so much threes and don't really use the pick and roll too much. And that makes Lopez or Brooke Lopez make a decision. And that decision is that should they guard PJ Tucker? Because PJ Tucker is one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league. Scratch that, probably the best. And one of the best in history, probably. So, should he just sag off of PJ Tucker and guard the paint? Or should they just go guard PJ Tucker? If I were the Bucks, I would guard PJ Tucker. So, the small ball lineup just showed us how the team could beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and it was a very impressive win for the Houston Rockets. They played very great defense in that game, and their offense was also very good. And it just shows how the small ball lineup works very well. And the Boston Celtics also have a small ball lineup, and Daniel Tice is 6'8". They almost won against the Milwaukee Bucks, but I think the reason they lost is because Jason Tatum didn't have the greatest night with only 5 points. And most of the time, this Boston Celtics team really did not shoot too much threes. They were pretty much cold from there and didn't really play that good against the Milwaukee Bucks. And and Jason Tatum didn't shoot too much mid-range shots, and mostly like DeMar DeRozan, he's very good at shooting the mid-range, and he could have took advantage of that because the Milwaukee Bucks have a really good paint defense, but they're the worst at guarding the three ball, and that is pretty bad. And teams could take advantage of that, but the Boston Celtics didn't shoot too much mid-range pull-ups, and I wish they could have done that to win against the Bucks. And I think their coach should just do this. Their starting lineup should be Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, and Jason Tatum at the 5. Even though this team might not be that good defensively and not as good as Robert Covington or PJ Tucker, I really think this small ball lineup could work out for the Boston Celtics. And all these players could create their own shot and are very good at shooting the three ball. And they could take advantage of that for the Milwaukee Bucks. All of these players are great at shooting the three ball, great at shooting mid range, and could create their own shot. For example, the Toronto Raptors killed the Milwaukee Bucks last year because Kawhi Leonard was just simply a beast. He could create his own shot, and he had a lot of mid-range pull-ups. And mostly the Milwaukee Bucks just guarded the paint. So that's why the Toronto Raptors won against the Milwaukee Bucks in a series. So if teams like the Boston Celtics and the Houston Rockets run a small ball lineup, I really think it could work. And the Boston Celtics could beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And yes, I made a video on how the Boston Celtics won't win a championship, but doesn't mean they won't go to the finals. And just because of their depth and stuff doesn't mean they couldn't make the finals. I think it's very possible if they run a small ball lineup against the Milwaukee Bucks. And if they do, then in the finals, they could verse a team like the LA Lakers, which I don't think they will win against. But the Boston Celtics could take an advantage of the Milwaukee Bucks paint defense. And if they run a small ball lineup, I really think that it would work for the Boston Celtics. And I know I'm talking about the Boston Celtics, but this is just for the flaw that the Milwaukee Bucks have. Their paint defense is really good, but they can't really guard players like James Harden and who could shoot the three ball. And the Houston Rockets have a great system and they could shoot the three ball a lot, and the Milwaukee Bucks don't really guard that. And same the Celtics could do. And that's the one flaw that I really think the Milwaukee Bucks have to improve on. Offensively, they're also really good and they have virtually no flaws. But another flaw I really do want to talk about is that they don't really make adjustments. And I feel like their coach Mike Budenholzer should make some more adjustments. I know Mike Budenholzer is a great coach, but if he doesn't make any adjustments, then how are they going to win in the playoffs? If Mike Budenholzer actually tells the players to guard the three ball pretty good, then I think they will be a little better in the playoffs. Since they don't guard the three ball that well, this is why I think the Milwaukee Bucks might lose Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I really don't think the Milwaukee Bucks will make the finals. I think they won't make the finals, and the media will just create a narrative that Giannis is a choker. Then Giannis might get a little sad that he's not getting that much team success. And Giannis Antetokounmpo really cares about winning. So if he doesn't win a championship in Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure he's going to leave the Bucks. There are teams out there like the Miami Heat. And offensively, their only problem is that do we really know in the clutch that Giannis Antetokounmpo is an elite passer that we know of? Just check out this Milwaukee Bucks play, which they lost. So that's one play that I show you that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not that good in the clutch, and he can't really pass the ball super good. I mean, he is a great passer, but he's not at an elite level to like run the offense for him. He's the best passer on the Bucks, but I don't really know if you could run an offense with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I really do not think that could happen. And some destinations Giannis Antetokounmpo could go to are the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are a great NBA team and have really good coaching in Eric Spoelstra. And they have a great young player with a lot of potential in Bam Adebayo. They could even go to the Golden State Warriors, which I could hate, the LA Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors. Giannis Antetokounmpo is friends with Masai Ujiri, so he could even go to the Raptors. But what I think will happen is he's going to go to the Miami Heat because their GM is very good and I think they could snag Giannis. Anyways, that is the end of the video, guys. Please like and subscribe as much support is appreciated, and peace out.